Hello. Hey guys, welcome to today's live. Today would be Tuesday, February 18th. What? Who's on your live right now? I don't know. I do not know. I can't see names of people who are on the live. Today, I think it was like not just 24 hours ago. I was talking about like the big news, and then there's more big news. And so today, the big news is that Raya cut her finger. Yep. Not what I wouldn't have done a live though, just for your finger, Raya, because I would have actually, yeah. Anyway. So the big news today is that the whole first phase of the hostage deal is going to be wrapped up by next Thursday. So this just came out today that Israel and Hamas agreed that they're going to do 4, 6, and 4, a release of 4 of there's 8 dead hostages total. So it's going to be 4 bodies released on Thursday. All 6 remaining live hostages released on Saturday. And then next Thursday, the remaining hostages who are not alive. So what was I going to do? So hey, Laura, thank you for tuning in. I'm going to, it says I can't post this message to some channels. So if you see in your channel, I have posted a link to a video that I did a while ago, back when this was all new about the hostages, that included in this release are hostages from 10 years ago. So let me just, let's go through some of the news I have here. Oh man, I hear it. The voice is going to go again. Okay. See? This isn't it. This is it. Okay. Show you the pictures of the hostages to be released alive on Saturday. So here's the deal. Here's what happened in Israel. Right? Can you put that a little lower? Here's the deal. What happened in Israel is that when the news started coming out today, they, have stressed, do not speculate, do not put out rumors of who is on the list, who is alive, who is dead. Of the 73 remaining hostages, we're looking at like a release of 14 that will end this quote phase 1, and they have said, Hamas said from the beginning, that 8 of the hostages of the original list of 33 are not alive. So we're looking at right now, this is what happened. The families of these 6 people, you see the 6 people in these pictures, announced that they're so happy that their loved one is going to be coming home on Saturday. Now that leaves us all to do the math. That means, let me switch here and go to another picture that I have of this. We do the math. Now, I'm sorry that this is not updated. Several of the people here have returned, but that means that the ones who do not appear on the list of 6, Ariel Bibas, Kfir Bibas, Shiri Bibas. Also, if I may continue, I haven't seen Itzhak Elgarat. I haven't seen his name. Sahi Idan. That's just one of the stories I know of. They're all tragic, but I know of his story. And his story, his daughter, who I believe was around 16 years old, was killed that day, and he was just in utter shock. And the videos of the family were being live streamed by Hamas when they were holding them in their home, and the other kids, the younger kids, and the dad. The dad was in shock, and the younger kids were, and maybe he was injured, I don't remember. In any case, they took him alive, and The mom who's here with her other two kids says, I haven't visited my daughter's grave yet. I'm waiting for Sahi to come with me. If we do the math and if it's correct, and there's no confirmation, he's not among what they say are the 6 living hostages. That means, right, going down the list here, Oded Lifshitz and Shlomo Mansour also not. I think at least Shlomo was ruled that he had died on October 7th. They just ruled that recently. And now, and then just to go through this quick, I think Ohad Yalomi, I guess, is not on the list. I don't recognize his name. So here, Avero Mengistu and Hisham Al-Sayed. These are 2. I put a link. I'm not sure if it made it into your YouTube or Facebook. Maybe I'll add it as well to Facebook, but a link to see the video that I did of those 2 hostages and how they got into Gaza 10 years ago. So this is what we are facing in the coming days. And so Thursday is going to be the release of 4 bodies. Now, what they've said, what Israel said is they're going to receive the bodies, they're going to do identification, and then only then will they rule conclusively who, on the identifications of those people. The Bibas family, somebody here is saying, oh, okay, thank you for saying the link is in the chat. So I'm not sure if it was Islamic Jihad or Hamas has long said that the 3, that Shiri and her 2 kids were killed by an Israeli bombing. But hold on, let me get you the exact quote from the family. So the Bibas family released a statement today. Now, of course, when Hamas, by the way, reiterated that they're not alive today in the in a statement that they made, and it was immediately reported by several irresponsible so-called reporters, not reporters actually, just people who put out other people's news, and so. That was contrary to actually the mainstream media in Israel is saying, like, first the families need to be notified and then we'll report. We'll see if they can hold themselves until then, but that's what they're saying for now. So here's a statement from the Bibas family. In the past few hours, we have been in turmoil following Hamas's spokesperson's announcement about the planned return of our Shiri, Ariel, and Kfir this Thursday as part of the hostages' remains release phase. We want to make it clear that while we were aware of these reports, we have not yet received any official confirmation regarding this matter. Until we receive definitive confirmation, our journey is not over. We ask the media and the public to respect our privacy and refrain from contacting us about this matter. The father, Yarden Bibas, who was also kidnapped that day, but separately, he wasn't with the family when he was kidnapped. He was just released, and we haven't heard much from him and his family since then. And their privacy is definitely being respected. Okay, so here's another press release. The Hostages and Missing Families Forum welcomes with profound joy the return of Elia Cohen. I just saw an interview with his fiance, Tal Shoham. I just heard from a woman she told the story of somebody she's related to who was kidnapped with Tal, and this woman was released. And she said, I saw Tal alive, anyway, and he has, I think, 2 little kids. Omer Shem Tov, Omer Wenkrat, Hisham Al-Sayed, and Nver Mengistu this Saturday. While we feel profound relief at their homecoming, we are devastated by the news that the remains of 4 of our loved ones will be returned this Thursday. As we embrace our returning family members, we must emphasize many hostages remain in captivity. There's going to be 59 after this phase is over. And time is of the essence. We call upon President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu to do everything in their power to advance the second phase of negotiations immediately. Every day matters for those still held captive. We are grateful for each life returned, but we cannot rest until all our loved ones are home. So anyway, that is there are some comments as we await what is going to transpire on Thursday. Oh, hey, Jeanette. Thank you for joining. I was just chatting with Jeanette this afternoon. I said, oh, I miss you on the live. So I'm so glad our times are overlapping again. Okay, so that I wonder, and everybody is talking about this now. Every Saturday that there has been a release of living hostages, Hamas has put on a different spectacle with a different backdrop, and I can show you the last one in case you weren't there for my live yesterday. But this was their backdrop last time. You can see a message to President Trump: no migration except to Jerusalem. And this was the backdrop of the stage on which they released the hostages. And you see, like, of course, the Dome of the Rock, the Palestinian flag, and who you see here is Sinwar. This is supposed to be Sinwar, the leader of Hamas. And Hamas's operation was called Al-Aqsa Flood, and they were when they did the embarked upon the October 7th attacks. They, for all intents and purposes, intended to arrive in Jerusalem, Al-Aqsa. So they have basically answered President Trump and say, we're not going anywhere but Jerusalem, so don't even try to ethnically cleanse us out of Gaza. Now, in the meantime, while Trump is continuing to double down on all hostages released, I heard one Israeli analyst say, and it was almost like he was helping to make up for, explain Trump, which was funny. And he said, Trump, when he said all hostages must be out, he meant phase one hostages, which was only at that point like about I think 17 left. And so he was saying that, and I was like, actually, that could be true. It could be that Trump was saying, like, let's end phase one now. Now I'm going to tell you something about the timing. So Thursday next week will be, let me get out the calendar because this is very important. Thursday next week is the 27th. Now, I want to tell you what starts on March 1st. Ramadan. Ramadan will start on March 1st, around there. It goes by the moon. And if that's the case, I am telling you, they just wanted to get this deal done before Ramadan because Gaza has a lot to deal with. In addition to the Ramadan fast, if you're not familiar with the month of Ramadan on the Muslim calendar, the fast is from sunrise to sunset. And I guess, I don't know how they did it last year during the war, but then anyway, it goes on like that for about 30 days. Let me share something else with you. Okay, so the one country who's been extremely upset with Trump's quote unquote plan, it wasn't really a plan, it was more like a statement, unless he has a plan in the works. But what it has done with him saying, like, we're going to get all the Palestinians out of Gaza. We're going to build Gaza. It's going to be beautiful. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to do that, and like this kind of vague, unclear, like basically like we're going to build another Mar-a-Lago right here on the Mediterranean Sea and make it all gorgeous. Not really specifying why the Palestinians have to leave in the meantime, how they're going to be moved back, if they're going to be moved back, but that they should be absorbed into, he has said, Egypt and Jordan, which are neighboring countries to Israel. Egypt has been extremely opposed to this plan. So here's an article in The National, which is a paper based in the UAE. that Egypt's 5-year plan for Gaza reconstruction includes safe zones and independent Palestinian agency. The subhead is the plan is designed to counter U.S. President Donald Trump's proposal for Gaza's future. And this is interesting. Let me link to this so you guys can read it. I'm not going to read it all now, but and like I said, I might have to then repost this later also in. I don't know if it goes up in Facebook, but anyway, you can take a look at the article and just see like what it is Egypt wants to do to basically keep the Gazans in Gaza and not let them get into Egypt. Now, I also heard that Egypt is building up its military on the border. I don't think that's necessarily because they're planning to have a war with Israel. I think it's more like if there's going to be a flood of people coming through, that is something they want to avoid. All right, let me see if I have any other interesting articles up. Just sad right here. Sahi Idan. This was back in January when they interviewed his wife, Gali, and they didn't know at the time what his status was, and she said, "I need the government to bring Sahi back alive. He was taken alive. He needs to be brought back alive." 49 years old, and no, it's all right. The more the merrier. I'll have some. Kibbutz Nachal Oz. Yeah, that's what I thought. I have, because I remember I visited Nachal Oz and I remember seeing his poster up there. There weren't too many, so it was like one I remembered very vividly. But I remember this story. It was one of the first story is such a bad word, but stories that we heard on October 7th, like literally on the day, because it was being live streamed and all of the channels were picking it up, like it was being shared. And to just I just remember the mom. I just like she really held it together, and she held her other two kids. The daughter Mayan, how old is she? Does it say? I don't know how old she was, but I think about 16 or something. She was killed in the safe room. They shot at the door and she was killed. Here, the terrorists broke into the building at the kibbutz, shot Mayan, and kept the family at gunpoint for hours, streaming live from the phone of Gali on her Facebook account. So, yeah. Oh, is that oh my goodness. I'm about to put two and two together with something, guys, because I saw earlier that someone said, and I think it was her, this sister, who said, "Why do I have to learn about my brother's death on Israeli media and not from anybody else?" I'm not going to find it right now. I'm sorry, but I'm checking. 3:42 for 3 hours ago. No, because I opened it. Oh, I'm never going to find it. I think it was her. I think it was this, Idan's mother. Oh, so anyway, it was Idan. Okay. I'm pretty sure that was the story where I just I just read an article where the sister said, "I can't believe I have to find out about my brother's death, and it's not being like told like to us, like we didn't have any representatives come." But what happened was the families of the six all put out messages saying, "We're welcoming back. We can't wait. Thank God." And so that, then it just left us all to do the math. If these are the six, then we know who are the eight. So anyway, that's the breaking news from today. It's going to be a very heavy week. I have talked about like the Hamas spectacles of the releases. So what's it going to be when they release coffins or bodies? How are they going to do that? Is it going to be live streamed? Is all of Israel going to be watching it on TV like they have watched every single one? Are they going to not broadcast it because of privacy issues? Is Al Jazeera going to broadcast it? In any case, is Hamas going to make a thing of it? We don't know. I mean, we're only going to find out on Thursday, and it's I'm not I I'm interested just to see exactly how this is going to happen. And we've known, despite the euphoria of the last few releases, we've known that this day was going to come. Now, of the 59 remaining hostages for phase two, there's a lot of soldiers as well, and there's a lot of young men, and they haven't started. They just started on phase two, negotiating phase two. So what's happening now to wrap up phase one is that once this deal was made today, Israel said, okay, we're going to send in the caravans and the tents into Gaza. So those are going in now, like right just before the storm. Hey, Lukey. It's all right. I mean, everybody's heard him anyway. Daniel, if you probably have heard Daniel in the background, they're shushing him. I'm like, it's like pointless at this point. Hey, Loki. Hi. So it's under. All right. So they're just in time for a winter storm, possibly snow. They're getting in the caravan so that there would be housing in Gaza. I mean, it's obviously only temporary, but it's going to take years and years to build Gaza. Like even this Egyptian plan is 5 years. At the end of phase one will also include another 600 Palestinian prisoners. I think it's supposed to be a total of 1,000 for this phase, but I've lost count. And it's going to be more heavy duty prisoners for some of the people, like some life sentences, stuff like that. And then in the next phase, we'll be determining who's going to rule Gaza, which whether Israel has said, and this is why they broke it into two phases, like just ceasefire, humanitarian aid, Palestinian prisoners, Israeli hostages. Next phase is who's going to rule Gaza. Israel has said, no way will it be Hamas, and Hamas says, we decide. So like I said, this is all going to wrap up right before Ramadan starts. So I don't know if we can even expect anything to happen before the end of Ramadan. So take it 30 days, so that all of March basically, and then it will be close to the Jewish holidays. It'll be close to Passover. So anyway, that's what I got for you for tonight. And check back in during the week, because obviously things are fluid and happen fast, and especially on Thursday. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in, and have a good night, good day, wherever you are. And